Hello. So for the second tool, we're going to go over Quizlet. So Quizlet is an online, web-based, interactive way that you can create study sets in order to learn vocabulary words. And there are different options such as images and diagrams, which we will go over. It is very user-friendly and fun for all ages. And it is a very useful tool for language arts teachers or elementary teachers who have to teach different vocabulary word sets throughout all different content material. So I'm going to give you a brief introduction on how to use this tool. So first you have to create an account, which I did, as you can see up here. And then you go to home and it asks you to create a study set. And it says I haven't created one because I'm going to create one right now. So you click on create a study set. And, okay. So here you add the title of your chapter. So let's just say I'm teaching 5th graders. So it'll be chapter, I'll say unit 4. So this could work for like spelling or math or anything that you need a question and answer to, like a term and a definition. But it is really good for vocabulary. So right here, I'm gonna put a term. So a 5th grade term, we'll just, like I said. So lethargic, I guess. So lethargic, so the term is lethargic, and here you can enter a definition. And it even gives you choices, which is really cool. So you can add your own definition or choose one. So these kind of look advanced for 5th grade, so we'll just say okay, so that will be our definition for lethargic. And here, there's suggestions you can turn on or off, which is why you got a suggestion here. You can add images or do a voice recording for those who learn better with auditory prompting, especially students who tend to have trouble with visuals. This is great. So that's why I love it, because it caters to all different types of children. And it's a great way to integrate technology in your classroom. Instead of having the kids lose their flashcards and write everything by hand, they have a simple mechanism that can create for them. So I'll just add one more term. So as you can see, you can add cards, delete cards. We'll just add elated as another term. Again, the suggestions. In high spirits. Well, we'll do in high spirits. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now, we'll create our card, our definition. You can share it, as you can see, or add to a class folder if you want to create a class, which is in the options section. And here we only have 2 terms for this set, but that's okay. And also, well, that's the create. So also you can search. So let's just say you're like the learning or trying to learn psychology, or you're in like psychology terminology, as that's the other area I'm interested in teaching. So you type in psychology, AP. And here, there are people who have created terms for psychology classes, like abnormal psych, developmental psych, social psych, etc. AP psychology, which is probably for a high school class. Definitely. Yeah. You could type in intro to psych to be more specific. So you get the gist. And now, how I am going to integrate this in my classroom. Well, I will go over 2 examples of if I'm teaching elementary versus high school. So if I'm teaching elementary school, I would integrate this definitely within my language arts and spelling units, as I would, for one, create a Quizlet. I would say around a week or a few days before the exam, and show the kids basically how to use it, and have them, pair up with a partner or join another group or something like that, like have separate like different teams and have them be timed on, like as a fun game. Like I'd make it interactive and have them be timed on to see who could get the most terminology correct. And this is actually something they did in my middle school. So we had like these little buzzers and we used Quizlet and it was fun. And then I would also have the kids use it at home. I would put a link up on my e-board online and would send them an email blast, and basically they could create their own or use the one that I created in class. But I would encourage them to create their own, as it is very helpful for them to associate their own images and own versions of definitions with the words that I taught them. So that's what I would do for elementary school. And for high school, I probably do around the same thing, except for I'm pretty sure a bunch of 11th and 12th grade AP psychology students or even intro to psych students know how to use Quizlet. So I would encourage them to use it. I could also, instead of like a game, I probably would use Kahoot more as a game for them, but I would have them create Quizlets by themselves, have them have like a study review session before an exam, and instead of, flashcards, and kind of just have them create their own style. So that is how I would apply it in the classroom setting. And I could show it on the smartboard, have them use their phones, laptops, etc.